Mad honey. A rare type of honey that's as hard to find as gold, but unlike gold, this honey comes with a dark side. It can cause hallucinations, drive you to madness, and even be fatal in certain doses. But why is it so dangerous? And how is this honey made? Eating a spoonful of honey that could make you see things that aren't there. This is mad honey, one of nature's most fascinating and dangerous delicacies. This rare substance contains a powerful compound called grayanotoxin, which can turn a simple taste of sweetness into a mind-altering experience. Its effects are so dangerous that it was a weapon throughout history. In 67 BC, King Mithridates' army left jars of mad honey along their enemy's path. The Roman troops, unable to resist the sweet treat, consumed it and were later found in a state of confusion, making them easy targets for slaughter. The effects of mad honey typically begin within 30 minutes of consumption. Your vision starts to blur and the world around you begins to distort, creating hallucinations. Users report intense dizziness, making it nearly impossible to maintain balance. There's often a powerful feeling of euphoria, almost like being in a dreamlike state. But it's not all pleasant. Your heart rate can drop dangerously low, and you might experience extreme lightheadedness that can last for several hours. Now, before you get any ideas, I need to warn you, this isn't something to mess around with. Every year, dozens of people end up in hospitals because of mad honey. Too much can stop your heart, and yes, people have died from it. So how exactly is this mysterious honey made? The harvesting of mad honey is just as fascinating as its effects, and it's arguably one of the most dangerous forms of honey collection in the world. It's completely different from your backyard beekeeping. We're talking about massive hives attached to sheer cliff faces, sometimes hundreds of feet above the ground. In the mountains of Nepal and the Black Sea region of Turkey, traditional honey hunters have been practicing this dangerous art for generations. These brave individuals scale treacherous cliffs using nothing but hand-woven rope ladders and basic climbing equipment. One wrong step, one weak rope, and it's game over. The tools they use have remained largely unchanged for centuries. The main tool is called a kerang, a long bamboo pole with a sharp sickle at the end. They also carry special bamboo baskets called kokris to collect the honey and use smoke from burning bundles of grass to calm the bees. But timing is everything in mad honey harvesting. The collection typically happens twice a year, spring and autumn. Spring honey is considered more potent because that's when the rhododendron flowers are in full bloom. However, autumn harvests are also valuable, though the honey is generally less concentrated. The actual harvesting process is intense. The hunters must first climb down their rope ladders, then use their kerang to pierce the massive honeycomb. The angry bees swarm everywhere. These are massive Himalayan bees, some of the largest in the world. Even with protective gear, stings are inevitable. Once they've cut into the hive, they need to maneuver their baskets to catch the falling honeycomb pieces. All of this while dangling hundreds of feet in the air, fighting off aggressive bees and trying to keep their balance. It's a deadly dance that these hunters have mastered over generations. But the risk matches the reward. A single harvest can yield hundreds of pounds of this precious honey, which sells for astronomical prices in international markets. Once the dangerous cliffside collection is complete, the processing of mad honey requires just as much expertise and care. After all, we're dealing with one of the world's most potent natural substances. The freshly harvested honeycombs are first brought down from the cliffs in traditional bamboo baskets. The honeycomb pieces are carefully separated and filtered to remove any wax, dead bees, and other debris. This initial filtering is crucial because mad honey needs to be as pure as possible. What makes this process particularly tricky is that mad honey must be kept separate from regular honey at all times. Even a small mix-up could be dangerous, as regular honey and mad honey look nearly identical. The experienced honey hunters can tell the difference through subtle variations in color. Mad honey often has a slightly reddish or darker tint compared to regular honey. The honey is then stored in special wooden containers. Unlike regular honey, mad honey can't be processed with heat or mixed with other substances, as this could affect its potency. The storage temperature is carefully controlled. Too hot and the active compounds might break down, too cold and the honey could crystallize. Testing the potency is perhaps the most crucial step. Traditional honey hunters have passed down methods through generations to determine the strength of each batch. While modern labs now offer scientific testing, many communities still rely on traditional methods, like testing small amounts on their tongue to feel for the characteristic numbness that indicates potency. Finally, the honey is packaged in small, carefully labeled containers. Given its potency, mad honey is typically sold in much smaller quantities than regular honey, often just a few ounces at a time. Each container comes with strict warnings about dosage and usage, crucial information that could mean the difference between a transcendent experience and a medical emergency.